Welcome to T10 Info TV SK channel. My name is Syed. Here I am with the latest news for 16 September 2023. Saudi Arabia extends ceasefire talks invitation to Sana's delegation. Saudi Arabia has extended an invitation to delegation from Sana's Yemen to engage in talks amid furthering the pursuit of a permanent and comprehensive ceasefire, the Minister of Foreign Affairs announced on Thursday. Saudi Foreign Minister arrived in Cuba heading delegation to Group 77 plus China summit. Minister of Foreign Affairs Prince Faisal bin Farhan bin Abdullah arrived in Havana on Friday heading Saudi Arabia delegation participating in the Group 77 plus China summit being held in the Cuban capital from September 15 to 16. Upon arrival at Jose Marti Airport, the prince was received by Cuban Minister of Labour and Social Security Marta Elena Vito, Saudi Arabia's permanent representative to the UN in New York Abdulaziz Al-Wasil, the Saudi ambassador to Cuba Faisal Al-Harbi. CMA refers 25 suspects to prosecution for violating Saudi capital market law. The Capital Market Authority has announced the referral to 25 individuals suspected of violating the capital market law and implementing regulation to the public prosecution. This move comes as a result of continuous monitoring and investigation efforts undertaken by the CMA. The CMA's board has issued two crucial decisions in this regard. The first decision involved the referral of 23 suspects. These individuals are alleged to have engaged in manipulative and deceptive practice, especially through the entry of purchase orders amid influencing their share price and unit price during trading activity involving 72 listed companies on Saudi Stock Exchange as well as one of investment fund. Fox News to air exclusive interview with Mohammed bin Salman on September 20. Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince and Prime Minister Mohammed bin Salman is set to grant an exclusive interview to Fox News channel's chief political anchor Brit Baier. This highly anticipated interview will air on special report on September 20 at 6 pm around 1 am Saudi time the following day, marking Prince Mohammed's first major American news network interview since 2019. The pre-recorded interview promised to delve into a wide range of topics including the kingdom's future and its relationship with the United States. Baier will anchor special report directly from Saudi Arabia on September 19 and 20, offering viewers an inside look at the kingdom. He will conduct additional interview with prominent Saudi officials including Ministry of Energy Prince Abdulaziz bin Salman, Ministry of Sport Prince Abdulaziz bin Turki Al Faisal, Ministry of Tourism Ahmad Al Khatib, Minister of Economic and Planning Faisal Al Ibrahim and CEO of the Darya Gate Development Authority Jarre Enzirlo. These insightful interviews will air on special report leading up to the exclusive conversation with the Crown Prince. Kim Jong-un visit fighter jet plane in Russia as Putin accepts invite to North Korea. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un continued his days-long trip to Russia Friday, visiting an aircraft plant in the eastern city of Komsomolsk and Amur, according to Russian state media, after the two sides said military cooperation was a possibility. The facility is the country's largest aviation manufacturing plant and builds and develops warplanes for the Ministry of Defense, including the Su-35S and Su-57 fighter jets, state media TASS reported. Kim's late father Kim Jong-il also visited the plant in 2002. Bangladesh jailed activists for 2013 report on security force killing. A Bangladesh court has sentenced two prominent human rights activists to 2 years in jail in what critics say in part of crackdown ahead of election. Adilur Rahman Khan and Nasiruddin Elan from right group Odhikar always denied decade-old charges that they published a report with false information, but prosecutors said their report on security force killing in 2013 undermined the country's image. The two were convicted on Thursday in Dhaka after a 10-year judicial process. Dozens of international human rights groups have called for two men's immediate release, saying their pair were denied a fair trial. Both activists have spent decades documenting thousands of alleged extrajudicial killing, disappearance of opposition activists and police brutality in Bangladesh. They were convicted for a report Odhikar published in 2013 about a protest by an Islamist group which had sought to impose a stricter form of the religion on Bangladeshi society. Pakistani court denies bail to ex-Prime Minister Imran Khan aid on charges of exposing official secret. A special court on Thursday turned down the bail application of former Prime Minister Imran Khan and his party vice chairman Shah Mahmood Qureshi in a case involving the misuse of confidential diplomatic cable of a political purpose. The two Pakistani Tehreek-e-Insaf PTI leaders have been facing a case under the Official Secret Act of 1923, which was registered against them last month and related to diplomatic dispatch called Cypher by a former Pakistani ambassador in Washington to the country's foreign ministry in Islamabad. Iraq and Turkey oil pipeline ready to resume operation soon. Iraq's northern oil export route through Turkey will soon be ready to resume operation after a check on pipeline maintenance and repair to flood damage, the Turkish Energy Ministry said. US issue new Iran-related sanctions, US Treasury website. The US is sanctioning more than 24 individuals and entities connected to Iran's violent suppression of protest in the wake of Mahsa Amini's death last year, that too in the custody of Iran Morality Police, the US Department of Treasury said on Friday. United Arab Emirates to launch digital response platform to aid disaster-affected countries. Catastrophe-hit countries will be getting swifter and more efficient support thanks to a new digital response platform that the UAE announced will be launching on Friday. The UAE permanent representative to the UN Lana Zaki Nusibha made the announcement during the UN Security Council debate titled Maintenance of International Peace and Security, Advancing Public-Private Humanitarian Partnership, reported the Emirates News Agency or WAM. Saudi Assistant Minister of Culture holds talk with Bulgarian Minister of Culture. Saudi Assistant Minister of Culture Rakan Altuek met Bulgarian Minister of Culture Christo on the sideline of the 45th extended section of UNESCO World Heritage Committee, which is taking place from September 10 to 25 in Riyadh. During the meeting, Altuek extended his thanks to the Bulgarian cabinet for supporting Riyadh's bid to host Expo 2030. OIC's human rights body laud Saudi Arabia's support. Saudi Arabia permanent representative to the Organization of Islamic Cooperation Saleh bin Hamad Al Soebani received the executive director of the OIC Independent Permanent Human Rights Commission, Noura bin Zayed Al Rushed in Jeddah on Thursday. Indian man chose partner's finger in Singapore jail. A 40-year-old Indian man was jailed for 10 months on Friday for biting off the index finger of a drunk colleague during an argument at a party in Singapore. Thangarasu Rangaswamy, who worked as an excavator operator, voluntarily pleaded guilty to causing severe injury to Nagoran Balasubramaniam left index finger, the Straits Times newspaper reported. Both Rangaswamy and Balasubramaniam are Indian citizens. They were both living in separate foreign workers hostel in Kaki Bukit at the time of the incident. Hundreds of tons of goods damaged Torkham border open after 9 days. The Torkham border between Afghanistan and Pakistan were reopened to pedestrian and vehicle on Friday morning. According to news agency AFP, a senior government official confirmed the opening of the border crossing. Pakistan caretaker energy minister says electricity system is facing a loss of 2,500 billion. Caretaker energy minister Mohammed Ali has said that there is a loss of 2,500 billion rupees in the electricity system, but the campaign against electricity thief has yielded good result. A lot of operations are going on against electricity thief. While holding a press conference with caretaker finance minister Shamshad Akhtar in Islamabad on Friday, he said that electricity thief was happening for many years and it is not today's problem. It has not been worked on for the last 15 years. The caretaker ministry said that every possible effort is being made to control the electricity prices. Increase in electricity rate of affects consumer. Our effort is to minimize the burden on domestic consumers. Mohammed Ali said that the work is being done to improve the efficiency of electricity distribution companies. He said that there is a loss of 2,900 billion rupees in the gas sector. The energy sector is facing a total loss of 5,400 billion rupees. The caretaker minister said that in the last 10 years there has been a decrease in finding oil and gas reserve. We have to formulate a policy for this. NAB ready to face cases under old or new laws. Chairman People Party Bilawal Bhutto Zardari, while reacting to the decision of the Supreme Court regarding the NIN amendment, said that NAB is ready to face case under the old laws or under the new laws. Bilawal Bhutto, speaking after the meeting of Central Executive Committee of People Party in Karachi on Friday, said that the NAB is not a new thing for People's Party. This decision was expected. He said that history will give its verdict on the performance of Chief Justice Umar Atta Bandial. The institution of NAB is created by a dictator. It should be closed. Announcement of reward scheme for overseas Pakistanis sending money through banks. The caretaker government of Pakistan has announced a new scheme for overseas Pakistanis sending remittance through the legal channel. Caretaker Finance Minister Dr. Shamshad Akhtar said in a briefing on Friday that the government has allocated 80 billion rupees to promote the scheme, and in this regard 20 billion rupees have been transferred to the State Bank of Pakistan. He added that the government has announced 5 types of scheme to promote remittance through legal channel. According to the caretaker finance minister, under the scheme, remittance of more than $100 will be received here without any fee. According to the scheme, remittance senders will be given points under which they will be able to get service and goods from various government institutions at discounted rates. Srinivasan K. Swamy elected chairman of Audit Bureau of Circulation. Srinivasan K. Swamy, executive chairman of R.K. Swamy Hansa Group, has been unanimously selected chairman of the Audit Bureau of Circulation for the year 23 to 24. Mr. Swamy currently serves as the chairman of the Asian Federation of Advertising Association. Newly constituted Congress Working Committee to brainstorm in Hyderabad to be battle ready for 24 election. Being battle ready for the 24 Lok Sabha election, preparation for the Assembly election in crucial state, current economic and political issue, and the coming together of the Indian National Developmental Inclusive Alliance parties would be among issues that would be deliberated by the newly constituted Congress Working Committee in Hyderabad over the weekend. Assembly election in Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh, Telangana and Mizoram would be a key focus of the 2-day-long brainstorming. Prime Minister Modi to launch Vishwakarma scheme on September 17. The centre newly announced scheme for artisans PM Vishwakarma will be formally launched by Prime Minister Narendra Modi on September 17 on the occasion of Vishwakarma Jayanti. Mr. Modi had mentioned the scheme in his Independence Day address, and the Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs had recently allotted 30,000 crore rupees for the scheme. The scheme will be available for traditional craft people and artisans for 5 financial years from 23 to 24 to 27 to 28. It has been the sustained focus on the Prime Minister to give support to the people engaged in traditional craft. This focus is driven by the desire to not only support the artisans and craft people financially, but also to keep the age-old tradition, culture and diverse heritage alive and flourishing through local products, art and craft, the Prime Minister office said in a release. India needs efficient multimodal transport system. President Draupadi Murmu on Friday said the country needs an efficient multimodal transport system for which rail, road, air and water transportation should be dealt with in a holistic approach rather than in isolation. Addressing a group of 213 probationer 2019, 2020 and 2021 batches from different services of the Indian Railways and the Rashtrapati Bhavan Culture Center here, she said unlike any commercial organization, the railway is a social lifeline of the country. That's all in today's headlines. Keep watching TTN Info TV SK channel by subscribing and do hit the bell icon to receive notification and more updates.